As an English learner, your goal is to speak English fluently and with clarity and with freedom. Is this your goal? Yes, it's your goal. And I am going to share one of the most favorite, effective and interesting technique to improve your English. Yes, dear audience. And the name of that technique and the method is storytelling. Yes, dear audience. By storytelling, you can improve your English in a tremendous way, because in storytelling there is only one tense is used. Four forms of only one tense is used, because for storytelling you also need tense, you also need structure, sentence structure. So you have to learn past tense, various forms of past tense. For example, past indefinite tense. First of all, past indefinite tense, subject plus second form of the verb and then object. This is past indefinite tense. Most of the time in storytelling there is used only past indefinite tense, and then past continuous tense, subject plus was or were plus verb and ing form and then verb object. This is called past continuous tense. And then come towards past perfect tense. Past perfect tense, subject plus head, third form of the verb and object. This is called past perfect tense. And sometimes we use used to in order to tell the other person our own habits of past. For example, we used to walk, हम walk किया करते थे. We used to listen, we used to sleep, हम सोया करते थे. We used to write down an essay, हम ऐसे write किया करते थे. And we used to in order to tell our past habits in a continuous situation. So by using three forms of past, past indefinite, use of second form, past continuous tense, subject plus was were plus verb ing and then verb object. After that you have to learn past perfect tense. What is past perfect tense? Subject plus head plus third form of the verb and then object. After this you have to learn the used to rule. Used to, subject plus used to. After used to there comes only first form of the verb and then object. She used to write down essay. She used to walk every day. She used to listen the music. First subject, then used to, then first form of the verb and object. This is all you have to learn for writing any kind of story. By mastering, and for storytelling you need only past indefinite, past continuous, past perfect and used to tense. That's all. After this you don't know and you didn't have to require any kind of other tense, because storytelling is always in past tense and you can create any kind of story by using past indefinite, past continuous and past perfect tense, and often used to. For example, I am going to narrate or tell a very famous story which is also written in past, because all the stories which we hear and which we listen are written in past tense with the help of past indefinite, past continuous, past perfect and help of used to, nothing else. For example, the story I loved the most, I would narrate it to you. Let me comment how did you find this story, because it's an amazing story, a story of motivation, and you need also motivation to learn English language fluently. Once there was a seagull bird. Once there was a seagull bird. And the function of the bird is to fly. Once there was a seagull bird. Use of simple past tense. He was afraid of flying. He was afraid of flying because he wanted to stay in his nest rather than flying. One day his mother, bird's mother, told him that if he stayed in the nest, he would not be able to fly in the air, and in that case he would left behind from all his fellows. And this was the moment when he realized that his mother was right. He with hesitation he took the step out of the nest. He jumped into the air. Definitely he was a bird. He was not going to come down. He was to fly because his wings were with him and his wings helped him to fly. Once he stepped out of the nest, his wings fluttered, and then he was in the air. He conquered the air and he was there and he enjoyed his first flight. This was the first flight of a seagull, and the first flight of yours is to speak. No, you are now wavering. You are now in a hesitation position. You are afraid of taking the first step, but you have to take the first step in order to be successful, to improve your English learning, to improve your English speaking practice. You have all the tactics. You have learned all the things. Now it's the time to practice your English. And by this method, this is an amazing method of storytelling. You can take the example of yourself. You don't need any partner. You can talk to yourself because you are helping yourself. There is no one who will help you at first. It's the only you and the you who can help yourself. So you can create a story of yourself, of your daily routine. For example, yesterday I went bazaar, I read books, I went to library, I cooked food, I washed my clothes, then I went to bed, I made my kids learn the lesson. In this way, you can create your own stories by writing just simple past tense with the help of second form. First of all, you have to require the only second form of the tense. You wrote, you went to bazaar, you walked in the garden, you slept at 11 o'clock, you woke up at 8 a.m. By using just second form, you can take the initial step for your destination. Because storytelling is the most favorite hobby. Everyone likes to have storytelling. You also create many of the stories in your mother tongue. Now it's the turn to speak and to create stories in English language, and there is no difficulty. There is no any hard and fast rule of storytelling in English. You only have to master past indefinite, past continuous, past perfect tense, and the tense used to. Use of used to. These four things will enable you to write down any kind of story you want to create on this earth. You can take the story of the cow, you can take the story of the crow. For example, there was a crow, simple past. He flew here and there in search of food. He didn't find any food, any water, anywhere. Suddenly, he saw a pitcher in the garden. At last, he drank water and flew away. Just second form is used in the story, The Thirsty Crow. All the stories which you have read in your childhood and all the stories which come across in your syllabus are written in past indefinite tense. In past indefinite tense, you have to gather the knowledge of past indefinite, past continuous, past perfect tense, and then create your own stories. Yesterday, I saw a sad crow. He was very sad. He thought that nobody liked him because of his black color. He hated his life because of his black color. Now you can also create a story of any bird, any animal, and tell me the story of your own choice in comment section. and we would see that how much interesting you are in your storytelling, because storytelling is not just to create the story, to create the words, to create a sentence. You have to catch the intention of the audience by creating a picture of that story into the minds of the reader. You are just telling the story, but for effective storytelling you have to create the pictorial image. Pictorial image means to create the story, to create the scene, to create the picture in the mind of the reader, so the reader can visualize what you are telling to him. For example, I told you the story of the seagull who were very afraid of his first flight. He was hesitant. He didn't want to get out of his nest suddenly. And then his mother told him, until and unless you stepped out of the nest, you can't achieve your aim. And suddenly, with hesitation, he stepped out of the nest. Again, the next moment, he was in the air. His wings fluttered, and his wings helped him to fly. And now he was enjoying his first flight. This was a story of motivation, that you have to take the first step. And when you take the first step, you will see that and you will learn that the things are more easy than you think of yourself. Because it's your only doubt, it's your only fear that make you keep behind your goal. It's your only doubt, it's your only hesitation. That is the biggest difficulty in your path of improving your English language. That you are afraid, I won't like English language. I won't be able to speak like a native English speaker. If you won't be able to speak like a native speaker, then what? Then what is the problem? You have your own accent, whether it is Indian accent, whether it is Pakistani accent, whether it is Asian accent. It doesn't matter to adopt and copy the English speakers. You just have to convey the message. If you are conveying the message and if your words are so powerful, then nothing can hinder you. You just have to practice. And storytelling is the best ever method to improve English language. Because there are hundreds and thousands of stories written in English language, in any language of the world. You can take any story of your mother tongue and then translate them and then think about them in English by using just past tense. You need only one tense to exemplify your story, and that is past tense. Past indefinite, most of the time past indefinite tense is used, means second form is used, subject plus second form plus object. And then there is past continuous tense, subject plus was plus verb, ing form plus object. And some and rare cases are there when past perfect tense is used, when subject plus had plus third form and object is used. So there is no hindrance, there is no difficulty to create a story. It's your own choice. And human beings also like to create their own stories. They like to, you just have to think and you just have to imagine. Your imagination should be fertile. You can create the things from the earth to heaven. It's your mind. Because Milton, the greatest poet of English literature, and I like the lines of Miltonic expression the most, and I quote them off and on in my videos. And the lines are so great. If your mind is in its own place, it can create a heaven out of hell and a hell out of heaven. It's the power of brain. It's the power of mind that can create a hell out of heaven and a heaven out of hell. Your mind can create a miserable situation into a beautiful garden. And your mind can also create a beautiful garden into a hell. This is the power. This is the power of imagination. This is the power of your mind. Just utilize your mind. Believe in yourself. Because what you think, it doesn't matter. What you speak, it doesn't matter. But what you believe, it matters a lot. You are going to be what you think of yourself. So if you think that you can't do, you will not be able to do anything. If you think that you will achieve your goal, you will definitely achieve your goal, because ultimately it's your belief that counts a lot. So focus on the things you can do, not on the things you can't do. Focus on the resources that you have. Don't focus on the resources that don't have. Don't create lame excuses, because if you are creating lame excuses, you will not be able to speak English language. You can't be able to achieve your desires. You can't be able to fulfill your dreams. If you have to master your dreams, if you want to reach your destination, and the destination is to speak English fluently, then you have to take the first step. And storytelling is the best ever step I have ever read. There are folk stories, there are stories written in every language. This is the importance of storytelling, because every literature is filled with storytelling. It's your mother tongue. Look at your mother tongue. Find out the stories written in your mother tongue, because storytellings and the stories are written in every literature, in every language. This is the beauty of language. Every language. Just pick up any language, you can find the stories of their own, because stories enrich your literature, stories enrich your language, and stories also enrich your imagination, reach your mind, reach your vocabulary, reach your language. If you create story, your mind will be fertilized, your imagination will be rich, your imagination will go up. You only require past tense. If you utilize this past tense, you can create marvelous stories, and you can create a hell out of heaven and heaven out of hell. How do you find the Miltonic expression and the poetry? Let me know in the comment section. Hope you have understood this beautiful and the best ever method, the most effective method of storytelling. Create a story of your own and let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much. Stay happy, stay blessed. Have a nice day.